Chosen one, there's something you need to know, something sacred, something destined, and it's not just another fleeting whisper across your spirit. It's a divine announcement written into the very core of your being. God did not forget you. He did not abandon you to wander the deserts of loneliness without purpose. Every silent night you endured, every tear you swallowed in the dark, every moment you thought you had to hold the entire sky alone. It was never unnoticed. It was being woven into the arrival of someone sent not to rescue you but to walk beside you, soul to soul, breath to breath. You are not crazy for longing for a love that feels deeper than words. You are not foolish for dreaming that maybe, just maybe, someone could look into your shattered pieces and see a masterpiece. That knowing inside you, that ache you couldn't name, it wasn't weakness, it was memory. The memory of a promise made long before you were born, a promise that healing was coming. Chosen one, your spirit has been preparing for this for lifetimes. You've weathered storms that would have drowned lesser souls. You've carried hopes like embers in your chest, even when everything around you turned to ash. And now the time has come. The healer is near. Not a healer who demands your smile, not a healer who insists you erase your past. No, this one will arrive as softly as a sunrise, as surely as a tide returning to kiss the shore. And when they come, you will know, not through grand gestures or dramatic declarations, but through the way your soul exhales when their presence enters the room. They won't have to ask about the battles you fought. They'll see it in your eyes. They'll feel it in the trembling strength behind your laughter. They will recognize the holy ground that is your heart, and they will treat it with reverence, not repair kits. This healer is not coming because you are broken. They are coming because you are whole, but weary. Because you have given so much light that now it is time for someone to carry a lantern for you, to remind you that you are not just strong. You are sacred. You see, in heaven's design, pain is not a punishment. It's a preparation. Every disappointment you survived was carving space within you. Space not for bitterness, but for a love that could fill you without crowding you. Space for a presence that wouldn't try to fix you, but would simply be with you. Hold you in your wholeness, even when you forget that you are already enough. The world taught you to build walls, to carry burdens no one else could see. The world told you that being soft was dangerous, that needing was weakness, and you believed it, didn't you, chosen one? You learned to armor yourself with independence so fierce, even your soul grew weary of carrying it. But God saw, God knew, and God whispered to the stars, "Prepare them, for the time is near." And so the healer was set into motion. Long before they knew your name, long before you ever cried your first silent prayer, they were being shaped, chiseled by their own loneliness, refined by their own heartbreak, softened by the same kind of battles you thought you fought alone. Because real healing love isn't born from ease, it's born from endurance, from the ache of knowing what it feels like to be unseen and choosing to never let another soul feel that way again. That's why when the healer comes, they won't rush you. They won't demand access to your sacred spaces. They will wait. They will honor the slow unfolding of your trust, like watching a flower bloom after a long winter. They will not see your silence as rejection. They will not see your guardedness as rudeness. They will see you, really see you, and not just the strong parts you've polished for public viewing, but the trembling, tender parts you thought you had to hide to be loved. They will not be intimidated by your depth. They will not run from your intensity. In fact, it will call to them, because they too have been walking through the fire, searching not for perfection, but for presence. Chosen one, you have carried your light through endless dark valleys. You have wrapped your own wounds in trembling hands. You have stood alone on battlefields that no one else dared cross. And now it is time for you to be met, not halfway, not conditionally, but fully, holy for holy. There is no rush here, there is only sacred unfolding. Because real love, healing love, isn't a lightning strike, it's a sunrise. It's the way the light sneaks into the cracks you thought were sealed shut. It's the way peace settles into your bones without explanation. It's the way, for the first time in forever, you exhale without bracing for impact. This is not fantasy. This is divine alignment. This is prophecy in motion. And when the healer comes, you won't need to question their intentions. You won't need to perform or earn or convince. You will simply be, and in your being you will be loved. Chosen one, I know it's hard to believe after everything you've endured. I know trusting feels like handing your heart to the wind. But hear me, this love is different. This presence is sacred. It is not here to tear down your walls with violence. It is here to sit patiently outside them, waiting until you open the door, not out of fear, but out of readiness. And you are ready. Maybe not perfectly, maybe not confidently, but ready enough. Enough for the healer to recognize you when they see you. Enough for your soul to whisper, finally. You found me, so breathe. Not because the world is suddenly easier, but because you are finally no longer walking alone. And in that simple, sacred truth, a new story begins. A story not of survival, but of restoration. Not of hiding, but of being seen. Not of fear, but of holy, steady, unbreakable love. They are coming. They are closer than you think, and your heart, brave and battered as it is ready to receive them. The healer is near, and chosen one. This is just the beginning. Chosen one, before the healer could step across the threshold of your life, they had to be shaped by the same divine hands that molded your spirit. You see, real healing love is never rushed. It is never crafted in the shallow waters of convenience. It is forged in the sacred depths of transformation. While you were learning how to breathe through brokenness, they too were learning how to hold their own heart in shaking hands. Before they could carry your tenderness with reverence, they had to first sit with their own pain without running from it. They were not born ready. They were made ready. By fire, by wilderness, by countless nights of asking God if the ache would ever end. Their scars are not stories of failure. They are proof that they can meet you where you are, without flinching, without fleeing. You might think, where have they been all this time? But dear soul, they have been walking their own pilgrimage towards you. Every heartbreak, every false start, every sacred no they had to utter. It was preparing them to recognize you, not the version of you you pretend to be, not the armor you wear, but the true you, the trembling, radiant hole in your fractures you, because you deserve a love that doesn't mistake your silence for absence, a love that knows when to reach out and when to simply sit beside you in stillness, a love that understands healing is not fixing, but witnessing. And so, the healer was stretched. They were stripped of illusions. They were taught patience the hard way, by waiting, longing, and yet not rushing ahead of divine timing. You are not the only one who prayed under your breath. Please just send someone who understands. They prayed too. Please prepare me to recognize the soul I'm meant to walk beside. The universe heard you both, and instead of throwing you into each other's arms before you were ready, God, in all mercy and wisdom, prepared you separately, refined you separately, softened the rough edges, healed the old betrayals, strengthened the core of who you truly are. Because true love doesn't meet you when you are desperate. It meets you when you are finally whole enough to choose, not from fear, but from truth. Chosen one, it matters that you know this. They have been loving you in their spirit long before you meet. Every act of self-growth, every decision to stay when things got hard, every tear they let fall without numbing it, was a declaration that they are becoming worthy of walking with you. Not because you need to be rescued, but because you deserve to be honored. The healer does not arrive as a hero, They arrive as a mirror reflecting back to you not the damage you've endured, but the brilliance that has survived every storm. You might even cross paths before you realize it. A glance, a missed opportunity, a delayed meeting orchestrated not by accident, but by timing that only heaven could arrange. Because the healer could not arrive when you still needed to be saved. They could only arrive when you realized you were already saving yourself. There's a holy tension in this waiting, isn't there? A sacred ache that builds, not out of lack but out of readiness. You might feel it even now. That sensation that something is about to shift, something ancient is about to unfold, and it is. Because their spirit has been tuning itself to your frequency. Their heart has been preparing a home where your soul can rest without fear. Not a castle built on fantasy, not a tower built on control, but a quiet, steady place where vulnerability is not a liability, but a language. A place where your laughter can echo without judgment, where your tears can fall without shame, where your truth can rise without fear of being crushed under the weight of misunderstanding. They are not rushing toward you out of loneliness. They are moving toward you out of alignment, and when they come, you will recognize them not because they say all the right things, but because your soul will exhale, because your nervous system, which has been wired for defense for so long, will, for the first time, relax. This is what you've been feeling lately, isn't it? That strange mix of weariness and anticipation, the sense that something is closing, something is opening. It's not your imagination, it's not wishful thinking, it's the preparation nearing completion. Chosen one, you are not behind. You have not missed it. You are right on time, and so are they. Even now, as you sit in your uncertainty, their spirit is sensing the same subtle pull, the same gravitational tug that only destiny can create. They are finishing the final chapters of their own healing, not so they can come to you perfect, but so they can come to you real, not to complete you, not to consume you, but to companion you. This healer, they carry the sacred blueprint of a love that doesn't just touch the skin, but sinks into the marrow. They don't want your mask. They don't need your performance. They seek your soul, the trembling, fierce, exhausted, beautiful soul you have tried so hard to protect. And in their gaze, you will find no demand to hurry, no push to perfect, only a holy invitation. Come as you are. I'm ready to meet you there. Chosen one, if you could see what's being aligned behind the scenes, you would not worry another day. You would not question your worth for another moment. Because the healer is not being sent because you need fixing. They are being sent because you are ready to be loved in a way that honors the journey you've survived. Their preparation is almost complete. Your readiness is undeniable. And soon, very soon, the river of destiny will bend the two of you into the same current, not because you chased after love, but because you finally became still enough to receive it. Breathe. Chosen one, the preparation is almost over, the meeting is almost here, and when it comes, it will feel not like fireworks, but like sunrise, gradual, certain, holy. Because real healing doesn't rush in screaming, it walks in quietly, carrying peace. And peace, beloved soul, is closer than you think. Chosen one, when the healer steps into your life, there will be no fireworks, no blinding signs shouting from the heavens. No, it will be quieter than you expect, softer, more certain. It will not scream, it will whisper. Your soul will know before your mind can make sense of it. It will not be logic that introduces you. It will be a feeling, a homecoming disguised as a conversation, a peace wrapped in a presence, a knowing without proof. You might not even notice them at first, because true healing love does not rush to impress. It simply exists, still, steady, waiting to be seen with the eyes of the spirit, not the noise of the world. And yet something inside you will shift, a subtle recalibration. A breath you didn't realize you were holding will release. A wall you didn't even know you built will lower itself by instinct, because the healer will not demand entry. They will not pound on the door of your heart. They will stand at its threshold with patience, with reverence, with hands empty of expectations and full of grace. And when you catch their gaze, when your spirit meets theirs, it won't feel like falling. It will feel like returning, like you had been searching through endless corridors of face only to realize that what you were seeking was seeking you too. It won't be about their words, though their words will carry warmth. It won't be about their touch, though their touch will steady you. It will be the way their presence feels, like a permission slip, to exhale, to be, to not apologize for all the ways your soul still trembles from the storms it survived. They will not look at you with pity. They will not view your wounds as obstacles. They will see you in your fullness, in your fierceness, in your fragility. And they will not flinch, because the healer knows that true connection doesn't happen in the polished performances. It happens in the moments when your guard slips, when your voice shakes, when your truth spills out messily and unapologetically. They won't be afraid of that. They will recognize it, because they have trembled too. They have fought too. They have survived the sacred breaking too. Chosen one, do not second-guess what your soul recognizes. The world may have taught you to doubt it, to believe love must come with struggle, that safety is an illusion, that being seen fully only leads to being abandoned. But the healer is not here to repeat old patterns. They are here to rewrite them. And yes, your mind may panic, your old defenses may rise, you may find yourself pulling back, questioning, is this real? Am I just imagining this? Do I even deserve something this gentle? And the healer will stay. They will not force you to speed up. They will not punish your hesitation. They will wait, with a patience that speaks louder than any proclamation of love, with a steadiness that begins to rebuild the broken trust within. You brick by holy brick. You will notice it in the small things, the way their eyes don't wander when you speak, the way their silence wraps around your fears like a soft blanket, the way their presence doesn't demand anything from you except your truth. And for perhaps the first time in your life, you will realize you do not have to earn this love. You do not have to perform for it. You do not have to shrink or pretend, or armor yourself in resilience. You are allowed to be tired. You are allowed to be messy. You are allowed to be in process, and still they stay. Chosen one. Healing love does not come to complete you. It comes to mirror you, to reflect back the sacredness you forgot when the world tried to convince you that you were too much or not enough. This healer, they will not ask you to prove your worthiness. They will assume it, because to them, your existence is sacred proof enough. You are not a project. You are not a puzzle to be solved. You are a soul to be honored, a garden to be witnessed as it blooms, even if the bloom is slow and shy. And yes, there will be fear, even in the presence of real love. There will be moments when you want to run, when your old wounds scream warnings into your chest, when your mind pulls up every memory of betrayal and abandonment and tells you, protect yourself, retreat, don't trust this. But the healer will not chase you down. They will not plead. They will simply remain, a steady flame in the distance, ready to welcome you when you are ready to return. Their love will not be loud. It will be consistent. It will not overwhelm. It will undergird. And over time, as the layers of survival peel back, as your soul dares to stretch into the sacred space they offer, you will begin to believe it. Not because they convinced you with words, but because their presence proved it. Love, real love, healing love. It does not shout, it listens, it does not rush, it waits, it does not demand, it invites. And when you realize this, when you finally feel safe enough to stop surviving and start living, you will look into their eyes and recognize what your soul has known all along. This is what I was waiting for. Not perfection, not fantasy, not a rescuer, a companion, a witness, a mirror, someone who doesn't just admire the light in you, but who can sit with the shadows too. Someone who doesn't just celebrate your victories, but who holds sacred space for your struggles. Someone who doesn't need you to be anything other than exactly who you are, wounded and wonderful, soft and strong, still becoming. Chosen one, you will know. You will know not because your mind will analyze and approve, but because your spirit will rest. And rest, beloved soul, is the greatest confirmation of all. They are coming, or perhaps they are already here, waiting for you to trust what has been prepared all along. Trust the stillness inside you. Trust the peace. Trust the home you feel when you are near them, because that, chosen one, is how you recognize the healer. Chosen one, healing doesn't always arrive with grand gestures or thundering declarations. Sometimes the most powerful restoration begins with presence, with someone who sits with you in your silence, someone who doesn't try to rush your blooming, but who simply believes in it. When the healer enters your life, they won't come to erase your scars. They won't see your brokenness as something shameful or inconvenient. Instead, they will see your wounds as sacred stories, as proofs of battles fought and survived. They will not attempt to fix you. They will not view your vulnerability as something to be corrected. They will see it for what it truly is, an invitation into holy ground. You have walked through so much alone. You have tended to your own aching heart in nights so long they seemed endless. You have become your own shelter, your own warrior, your own lighthouse. And now the healer comes not to take away that strength, but to honor it, to sit beside it, to hold the weight you have carried for so long, not to remove it from you, but to remind you that you never had to bear it all alone. Their love will not suffocate. It will breathe alongside you. It will not demand you change before you are ready. It will honor every stage of your unfolding. It will not ask you to hurry your healing to make them comfortable. It will stretch with you, bend with you, wait with you. Chosen one, real healing is never rushed. It is a slow, sacred unfolding, one breath, one revelation, one permission slip at a time. The healer will offer you something the world rarely does. Time. Time to relearn how to trust. Time to rediscover what safety feels like. Time to believe, again, that love can come without conditions. Their hands will not be quick to reach. They will be steady, patient, respectful. Their words will not be loud proclamations of forever. They will be quiet affirmations of presence. I see you. I'm here. Take your time, and you will feel it, not just in your mind, but in your body, your breath, your bones, that slow, tender shift from defense to surrender. The nervous system that has been trained to flinch will begin to soften. The heart that has been armored against disappointment will start to flutter, tentative but willing, not because you are being pushed, not because you are being forced, but because the presence beside you feels like a sunrise you didn't even know you were waiting for. Chosen one, this is how sacred healing happens, not through the forceful tearing down of walls, but through the gentle invitation to open, not through the pressure to be perfect, but through the permission to be authentic. The healer will not see your weeping as weakness. They will see it as a baptism, a holy washing away of the dust of battles you were never meant to fight alone. And when you tremble because you will, they will not ask you to stop. They will not rush to wipe away your tears as if they are something shameful. They will simply be there, a steady witness, a sacred mirror, a hand open but never clutching, inviting you to rest when you're ready. They will understand that healing is not linear, that some days you will shine like the sun, and other days you will curl inward like a wounded bird. And on both kinds of days, they will remain, not because they have to, but because they choose to, because they understand that true love, holy love, does not abandon when the winds howl louder. It anchors deeper. Their patience will be a balm. Their gentleness will be a bridge. Their consistency will be the soil in which your spirit dares to root itself again. You have carried yourself for so long. You have worn strength like armor. You have hidden your tenderness to protect it. And now you are being invited to put the armor down, to be held, not in conquest, but in compassion, to be loved not for what you perform, but for who you simply are. Chosen one, this healer will see the sacred mess of you and call it beautiful. They will not ask you to diminish your fire. They will not fear your depth. They will not recoil from your contradictions. Instead, they will step closer. They will kneel at the altar of your authenticity, and they will honor it. Their love will be a slow-burning flame, steady and sure, the kind of fire that warms without scorching, the kind of light that illuminates without blinding. You will not have to fight for their attention. You will not have to audition for their affection. They will choose you again and again and again, not out of obligation, but out of sacred recognition. Because when the healer sees you, they will not see your survival as something burdensome. They will see it as something holy. Your scars will not intimidate them. Your shadows will not frighten them. They will understand because they carry their own. They know what it means to bleed unseen. They know what it means to build a life from broken pieces. They know what it means to hope when hope seems foolish. And because of this, they will never ask you to apologize for your healing process. They will honor your timeline. They will honor your trembling. They will honor your becoming. And through their steady presence, you will remember things you thought were lost to the storms. How to laugh without fear. How to dream without doubt. How to love without needing to shrink yourself to fit inside someone else's comfort. Chosen one, this is not the fantasy the world sold you. This is not the chaotic passion mistaken for love. This is holy ground. This is the garden after the flood. This is the sunrise after the longest night. And when you find yourself questioning when, the old fears rise like ghosts from the past. The healer will not shame you. They will not demand you move faster. They will sit beside you in the fog. They will hold the lantern while you find your footing. They will remind you gently, consistently, lovingly that you are not walking alone anymore. You are being held in a love that doesn't collapse under pressure, a love that doesn't retreat when the work gets heavy, a love that understands that healing is messy, that restoration is a slow and sacred revolution. Breathe, chosen one. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are simply blossoming at your own divine pace. And the healer is right here, ready to walk with you every step of the way, not as your rescuer, but as your companion, not to take your light, but to nurture it. This is not the end of your healing. This is just the beginning of a life, where love feels like safety, where vulnerability feels like freedom, where you are no longer surviving, you are living. And you are ready, even if your voice trembles, even if your hands shake, even if your heart still doubts, you are ready, and they are ready too. The healing has already begun. Chosen one, there is a sacred miracle that unfolds when healing love enters your life. It doesn't just comfort you. It doesn't just soothe the old wounds. It awakens you, because true healing love, the kind sent by divine hands, does not come to fix what is broken. It comes to remind you that you were never broken to begin with. When the healer stands beside you, not rushing, not demanding, not expecting, but simply being, something ancient inside you begins to stir. A memory older than pain, older than fear, older than all the defenses you built to survive in a world that didn't know how to hold you. You begin to remember who you were before the world convinced you to forget. You were not made to live in a fortress of fear. You were not created to survive in fragments. You were designed for wholeness, for depth, for sacred connection, and the healers. Love is the mirror that reflects these truths back to you. They will not fill your silences with noise. They will not rush your stillness with urgency. They will sit in the space between your words and hear the songs your soul is singing quietly beneath your breath. They will not praise only your strengths. They will honor your weaknesses too, because they see the sacredness of your entire being, not just the polished parts. And slowly, layer by sacred layer, you will begin to shed the lies you learned to wear like second skin. I am too much. I am not enough. I am a burden. I am alone. Those old beliefs built from wounds and misunderstanding will begin to crumble under the steady light of being truly seen, not analyzed, not judged, not evaluated, seen. And in being seen, you will start to see yourself anew. Chosen one, this is the secret no one tells you. Real healing does not begin when someone tries to change you. It begins when someone looks at you, truly looks at you, and says without words, "You are already worthy." The healer's love will not shout this. It will whisper it into the deepest caves of your spirit, the places even you have been afraid to visit. And those whispers will plant seeds, seeds of trust, seeds of freedom, seeds of hope. You will feel it first in the small moments, the way your laughter feels less guarded, the way your shoulders sit a little lower, no longer carrying the invisible weight of being perfect enough to be loved. You will notice it when you speak your truth and do not flinch, when you weep openly and do not apologize, because the healer's presence will teach you not with lessons but with living proof that love does not shrink you to fit. It expands to meet you where you already are. Chosen one, you have spent lifetimes shrinking your spirit to survive. You have learned to edit yourself into a version the world could tolerate. But the healer's love calls you back to your original size, your sacred enormity, your wild, holy, radiant fullness. And as you grow back into yourself, you will feel the old fears rise. What if I am too much? What if I am not loved once I stop performing? But the healer will not leave. They will not punish your expansion. They will celebrate it, because their love is not based on the version of you that hustles for worthiness. It is rooted in the truth of your soul, which never needed to hustle in the first place. They will not idolize you. They will not place you on a pedestal too high to breathe. They will love you in your sacred humanity, messy, miraculous, magnificent, and as you rise, they will rise with you. This is not a love that clips your wings. This is a love that reminds you that you were born to fly, not alone, not wounded, but whole. And you, chosen one, you are more ready for this than you realize. You may still feel the tremble in your bones. You may still hear the old voices whispering doubts. But beneath all of that noise, a new song is rising, a song of belonging, a song of sacred presence, a song that sings not to be heard, but simply because it cannot be silenced anymore. You are not who you were before. You are not the abandoned child of your old wounds. You are not the exhausted warrior fighting invisible battles for scraps of affection. You are sacred ground. You are living proof that broken things can become beautiful, that weary souls can find their way home. And the healer, they are not building that home for you. They are building it with you, hand in hand, breath by breath. Hope stitched into hope. They are not here to rescue you from yourself. They are here to walk with you through the resurrection of your spirit. And you, chosen one, you are rising. Not because the healer makes you rise, but because their love reminds you that you were always capable of it. Their presence is not a crutch. It is a mirror that reflects back the glory hidden beneath the rubble of your survival. You are not too much, you are not too little. You are exactly what was needed, exactly what was prayed for, exactly who was destined to rise when the time was right. And that time, beloved soul, is now. Breathe in the truth. You are loved, not for your victories, but for your vulnerability, not for your performance, but for your presence. You are loved because you are. Full stop. No negotiation, no condition. And as you walk this sacred unfolding with the healer beside you, you will begin to realize healing was never about becoming someone new. It was about returning to who you have always been, sacred, whole, enough. Chosen one, you are awakening, and the world has not yet seen the full radiance of what happens When a soul once broken by loneliness rises, not to fight but to love freely, to love bravely, to love truly, starting with yourself. The healer is simply the reminder. The awakening was always within you. And now, at last, it is time. Time to rise, time to remember, time to receive, not because you are perfect, but because you are finally ready to live loved. Chosen one, when healing love roots itself within your life, something extraordinary happens. You do not become someone new. You become someone ancient, someone you have always been underneath the layers of fear, the seasons of ache, the armor of survival. The healer's presence is not a rescue, it is a resurrection. It is the slow, sacred returning of your spirit to the home it never truly left, only forgot in the noise of the world. With them, you do not feel the need to shrink. You do not feel the urge to perform. You are not praised only when you shine, nor abandoned when you falter. You are loved. In process, in trembling, in triumph, in stillness, you are loved because you exist, because you breathe, because your spirit sings even when your voice shakes. Chosen one, you have waited long for this kind of love. You have walked deserts of loneliness, carried oceans of longing, climbed mountains of silent prayers. And now, you are arriving at a sacred threshold, a place where love no longer demands exhaustion, where belonging no longer costs you your authenticity, where trust feels like breathing, not battling. You are not just being healed, you are being restored. You will notice it in the smallest shifts, the way you laugh with your whole chest again, the way your shoulders settle lower without you realizing, the way your dreams begin to color themselves vibrant once more, not because the healer completed you, but because they reminded you that you were always whole. And now, hand in hand, spirit beside spirit, you walk into a new life. Not perfect, but true. They will not demand that you never tremble. They will not pretend storms never come. But when the winds rise again, you will not face them alone. You will have an anchor beside you, a quiet, steady presence that does not try to silence your fears, but who sings louder the truth of your worth. You are loved, you are seen, you are safe. And your soul, so long accustomed to survival, will learn the sacred art of resting. Resting in love. Resting in safety, resting in the truth that you are and always have been beloved, chosen one. It will not always feel easy. Healing rarely does. There will be days you question the softness. There will be days you fear the gentleness. There will be days the old voices of fear grow loud again. But this time, you will not walk those valleys alone. You will have a hand to hold, a mirror to remind you, a soul whispering beside yours, even here, even now, you are loved. Because true healing is not about never feeling afraid again. It is about knowing that fear no longer has the final say. It is about knowing that even in trembling, you are still worthy of being held. And you are. You always have been. The healer was not sent because you were weak. They were sent because you were ready. Ready to receive what was written in the stars for you long ago, a love that is not earned, a love that is not begged for, a love that is not rushed or forced or bartered, a love that simply is sacred, sure, steady. Chosen one, if your heart is beating faster right now, if your spirit feels like it is standing at the edge of something vast and beautiful, it's because you are. You are stepping into the answer to prayers you thought went unheard. You are walking into the fulfillment of promises whispered over your soul before time even knew your name. You are being seen now, not for what you have survived, but for who you have always been. A vessel of light, a carrier of hope, a mirror of the divine. And this love, this healing, steady, sacred love, is not an accident. It is not random. It is the echo of God's compassion made flesh and breath beside you. You are not lost. You are not forgotten. You are not too late. You are arriving exactly on time, exactly as you are. So breathe, beloved soul. Breathe deep the sacred air of this new beginning. Breathe in the knowing that you are loved without having to fight for it. Breathe in the certainty that you are worthy without needing to perform. And if you feel the truth of these words resonating in your spirit, if you feel the sacred warmth rising in your chest, then I invite you to mark this moment. Let the universe hear your heart. Let the heavens bear witness to your readiness. Comment below with the word ready and the number 777 to declare it. You are ready to be loved in wholeness. You are ready to be held in truth. You are ready to receive the healer sent for your soul. Chosen one, your journey was never meant to end in loneliness. It was meant to lead you here, to healing, to remembrance, to sacred companionship. And now, with courage trembling in your chest and hope rising in your hands, you take the next step, not alone, never alone again. The healer is here, you are here, and together you walk forward, into wholeness, into destiny, into love, forever marked by the journey, forever illuminated by the truth. You are chosen, you are ready, and love, true, sacred, undeniable love, is now your foundation. Welcome home, beloved soul. Welcome home.